Top-rated tourist attractions in Europe. European nations have a lot to offer tourists, from the cultural landmarks of France to the historical treasures of Italy and Germany's great list of breathtaking architectural monuments. As a result, choosing the top attractions to go to might be very challenging. No matter if you're searching for a mystical location like Stonehenge or a chance to immerse yourself in a world of art and architecture at the historic Prague Castle or the majestic Louvre Museum, we've put together a list of the top attractions in Europe. With this list of the greatest attractions in Europe, you can discover the best locations to visit on this geographically and culturally varied continent. 9. The Matterhorn, Switzerland. The Matterhorn is one of Europe's tallest summits at 4,478 meters. Just over the Swiss town of Zermatt, which is located on the border between Switzerland and Italy, lies the breathtaking mountain. The Matterhorn, a well-liked hiking destination in the Alps, is exceptional because it is a pyramid-shaped peak that can be scaled from all four directions. It is also feasible to finish a 10-day trip around the peak for those who aren't climbers. This is regarded as one of the most picturesque walks in the Alps, passing through alpine woods, flower-filled meadows, and glacier lakes. Skiers and snowboarders flock to the region around the Matterhorn and Zermatt in the winter because the resorts at Zermatt and Broye-Cervinia have ski lifts that go to the top of Theodule Pass. Also, there is the Matterhorn Museum, which explores the interesting history of alpinism, and a chance to take a helicopter trip to get a close-up glimpse of the snow-covered peaks. 8. Venice Canals, Italy. Every tourist will be enchanted by Italy's enchanted, floating city, which offers a richness of beauty, romance, and history. In Venice, more than 150 canals link 118 small islands with more than 400 bridges and numerous walkways. One of the most popular activities in Italy is a romantic gondola trip. Venice's allure doesn't stop at the water's edge. The banks of the canals are lined with charming lanes and tunnels, secret courtyards, and magnificent examples of Gothic and Renaissance architecture. On a gondola viewing trip or a vaporetto, Venice's waterbus, you may cruise beneath bridges and around corners of the Grand Canal and get a closer view of much of the stunning architecture. The Grand Canal in Venice, the city's primary waterway, is surrounded by several palazzos and churches, notably the Rococo-style Ca' Rezzonico Palace and the Venetian Gothic Palazzi Barbaro from the 15th century, both of which have entirely white marble facades. 7. Berlin's Brandenburg Gate, Germany. The Brandenburg Gate, which was constructed in the 18th century on Frederick William II of Prussia's instructions, has come to represent Berlin. The gate is enormous, measuring over 65 meters in length and 26 meters high, and it is topped by a quadriga, or four-horse chariot. As it is located where the route that connects Berlin and Brandenburg town begins, the gate owes its name to the town of Brandenburg an der Havel. The gate has played a pivotal role in several historical events that have formed Germany during the past 2 centuries. Despite suffering severe damage from bombs and gunfire, it endured World War II and was utilized as a Nazi emblem. Up until the erection of the Berlin Wall, the gate served as an unofficial boundary between East and West Berlin. Moreover, 100,000 people congregated at the gate to commemorate the fall of the wall in 1989. 6. Prague Castle, Czech Republic. One of the most well-liked tourist destinations in the Czech Republic, Prague Castle receives almost 2 million visitors each year. Prague Castle, which has a remarkable fusion of Gothic and Romanesque architectural styles, is acknowledged by the Guinness Book of Records as being the biggest castle complex in the whole world. Among the 70,000 square meters of the complex, several of the other buildings were constructed centuries after the 9th century castle itself. Inside the Prague Castle complex, St. Vitus Cathedral, St. George's Basilica, and the 16th century Golden Lane are some of the most beautiful structures. The palace guards and goldsmiths originally resided in this row of modest medieval homes. Years later, Nobel Prize laureate Yaroslav Seifert and author Franz Kafka moved in. The Czech Republic's presidential office and a hidden chamber housing the Bohemian crown jewels are both located on the castle grounds. A tiny museum outpost of the National Gallery may be found inside the castle, along with a toy museum that specializes in wooden toys. 5. Louvre Museum, France. The largest and most popular art museum in the world is located on the Seine River's bank. Throughout the ages, the original 13th century Louvre Palace that previously stood here was enlarged and renovated, creating the enormous almost 73,000 square meter structure you see today. The glass and aluminum pyramid outside the museum has evolved into a contemporary representation of the Louvre. Now serving as the museum's main entrance, it is 21.6 meters tall and 34 meters on each side. Around 35,000 of the astonishing 380,000 pieces in the Louvre's collection are on exhibit all the time. Together with paintings, these also contain sculptures, sketches, and artifacts from ancient sites. The museum also has the spectacular 6 by 9 meter coronation of Napoleon painting and the 8-foot-tall winged Victory of Samothrace sculpture, in addition to Leonardo da Vinci's La Mona Lisa and the Venus of Milo. 4. Stonehenge, England. One of the most well-known sites in the UK is the ancient monument known as Stonehenge. Stonehenge is located in an area of England noted for its numerous burial mounds and was constructed between 3000 BC and 2000 BC. The majestic Stonehenge and its surrounds are a UNESCO World Heritage Site. It is composed of a large ring of 4-meter-tall sandstones with an inner horseshoe-shaped stone circle. Stonehenge's function is still a mystery. It could have been a burial place dating to 3000 BC, according to archaeologists. The placement of the stones suggests that it may have been used as a Neolithic calendar, a site of worship, or a scientific observatory. The stones were moved at least 19 kilometers to their present site, and they each weigh around 25 tons. 3. Acropolis of Athens, Greece. One of Greece's most well-known tourist attractions is the historic citadel, which guards Athens from atop a rocky outcrop. The most prominent structures on the Acropolis were all built in the 5th century BC, all under the watchful eye of the politician and general Pericles. The Parthenon, a temple constructed to honor the gods for the triumph against Persian invaders, is at the center of the Acropolis, though it also served as the city treasury for a time. Other notable structures are the Propylaea doorway, which serves as the Acropolis entrance, the Erechtheian temple, which is devoted to Athena and Poseidon, and the little yet stunning temple of Athena Nike. During the Marine War in 1687, several of the structures on the Acropolis suffered damage. The majority of the antiquities discovered inside the temples that were spared destruction have now been transferred to the neighboring Acropolis Museum. 2. Colosseum, Italy. The Colosseum, also known as the Flavian Amphitheater in Rome, is one of the most popular tourist destinations in Italy and continues to be one of the most recognizable images of Imperial Rome. Using volcanic rock and travertine limestone, it was constructed between 70 and 80 AD. It was the largest amphitheater in the world when it was built and for a very long time after that. It could accommodate 80,000 people. The Colosseum is a large, imposing edifice with a base area of 24,000 square meters and an exterior wall height of 48 meters. It once included a velarium, a retractable awning to shield spectators from inclement weather, and a substantial hardwood floor covered in sand. Animals and gladiators were imprisoned under this floor in a maze of tunnels before to the contests. The Colosseum was the location of numerous other performances and spectacles, including reenactments of historic wars and executions, while being most well known for hosting gladiator fights. More impressively, it was also the site of fake sea battles, when the arena was quickly filled with water and drained of it so that ships might float while the performances were taking place. The amphitheater was used as a fortification, a temple, and temporary homes over the years. Stone robbers also took a lot of the treasure. 1. Eiffel Tower, France. One of the most well-known landmarks in France is the Eiffel Tower. The wrought iron tower, which is located in the center of Paris's Champ de Mars, was first constructed to act as the entry to the 1889 World's Fair. During the time of construction, the 324-meter-tall tower, which is comparable to an 81-story skyscraper, was the highest structure in the world. Nevertheless, engineer Gustave Eiffel's design drew harsh criticism, with some describing it as an impossible feat and an abomination. Restaurants and cafes, souvenir stores, historical displays, Gustave Eiffel's actual refurbished office, and a number of viewing decks are all located on the tower's 3 floors. The Eiffel Tower's first 2 floors can be reached by a staircase or a lift, but only an elevator is available for entry to the 3rd level by outsiders. Golden lights shine throughout the tower at night,